persevere, overcome, win, empower, and restore. Now, I find that there are a lot of women that have the P, which is persevere, because we're fighters by nature. You know, no matter what we go through. Then we do the O, which is overcome, because we get from one obstacle to the next. And we have some W's, we have some wins, right? There's some things that we look back and we say, you know, I've come from a long way. But then we get to that E, empowering. Sometimes we get so stuck in our own lives that we forget that we're here to serve others. Then when you get to the R, restore. So not only have you overcome and you've won and now you're starting to empower, you're bringing others along with you. That's the restoration part, as we're seeing our lives transform into the people that God has called us to be, but then we're able to help others. So we are teaching you how to serve from a full cup. Because women, we have a tendency of serving from an empty cup. You know, we go through life and we put everyone ahead of us, and we have a tendency to make sure everyone else is taken care of, and then we say, wait a minute, at the end of the day, did we fulfill the things that we know that we've been called to do? You know, and so through these events, we are taking the guilt out of saying, you know what, there's something for me. There's a purpose for me. So although you may be a wife and you may serve and you have so many things, what are the gifts, the seed traits, the talents that were put on the inside of you that have to be fulfilled? So these events are to shake up those places that you kind of like packed away and say, maybe not in this lifetime, or maybe once the kids graduate, or maybe when life gets good, or maybe once I get some more money, or maybe. Those maybes don't happen until we literally make a decision to change and shift the things that God has called us to do. So these events are going to give you the tools that you need, and I believe the foundation of that is having a vision, but not just having a vision, but writing the vision and making it plain. That's right. So that when you see it, our mind works in pictures. The things that we do works in picture form. So when you start to see it every day, you start to realize you don't even understand that how your life is shifting just because you have the vision in front of you. So I started doing vision boards back in 2014, and I would say that that was probably one of the toughest years of my family's life. We transitioned from Miami, Florida to Houston, Texas, and then we had no idea what it was going to look like. So, take that from me. We had no idea what it was going to look like. We just knew that God said go. So out of obedience, we left. Not knowing anyone, not having a job, not having a business set up. We had a 1, 3, and a 5-year-old, but we just knew that there was a vision bigger than what we can see. So that shift took us from probably the hardest times of our life. Because, you know, a lot of times when you say, I'm going to do what I've been called to do, that things just start to come in line. No, that's not the way it works. Literally, all hell breaks loose.
That's right.
And everything that can stop you will come at you to test to see, do you really want this? Will you keep going no matter what? If you lose everything, which we did more than once, if you have to stay in a hotel with kids, which we did more than once, will you keep going because you have the vision in front of you? So I remember that at one of the times we were staying with someone that we had just met, and it was so interesting because we weren't those type of people to stay with anyone. Now, before 2014, I did celebrity events, Mercedes, Infinities. I was living that life, house on the water. That shift in 2014 took us staying in a hotel, like the dumpiest motels that you can possibly think of. The ones where you stay up all night just praying that you all stay safe. So it was a really big culture shock, transition and shift. But even in that, I started to understand who I was. Because when I was living that life, I didn't have to really seek after a lot of things. Things just kind of like found me. Opportunities found me. So I thought that's just the way it is. I got favors, it's easy, this happens. But then to be in a position where you have to build from within, understanding the power of your voice, the value of who you are, knocking on doors where people don't know you and being able to sell yourself, being able to close a deal. All of that shifted for me from 2014 to where I am right now. So I started connecting with other women. After 2016 is when I started my Mommy and Me Dream Bigger tour. And I started finding so many women that needed what I had. Now, I'll tell you how life works. You go through things and you think you go through you and you're like, okay, could I really help someone with this story? actually you started getting a little shame because I didn't want to tell nobody I had to stay in a hotel. Like I just said, I was driving luxury cars, living in houses, but then to now have to stand on stage and tell people, yeah, I had to stay in a hotel. I had to register my children as homeless in school. That was like a really big deal. Like literally, not only was I going through it, now the public school system knew. My family and I were going through it. So to be able to get to the point where we are right now, we said, this is not the end of our story. We may be going through this process, but we're going through it so that we can help someone else, so we can tell them, when you get to the bottom, look up. All hope is not lost. If you lose everything, you can build it again. If you lose one business, go get another one. If something doesn't work, find a way. There's something that is in you that will keep you going no matter what. So that's what these coming together, the empowerment is about. Bringing women to shake up those areas, because I went through a time of depression where I didn't want to talk to anyone. Don't call me, just leave me alone. Life sucks right now. And I just wish that God, I used to tell God, just leave me in a corner. Go use other people. I'm good. Just leave. You don't even have to use my voice again. But when I started to understand the value of my voice, helping other women find the value of their voice, we said, okay, we got to come together. So Barbados. So now I'm here on Barbados. They know the story, but you don't. I came here for a 3-week vacation. And a year and a half later, my family and I are here, and we're serving and we're doing things and we're doing business. And the shift was just always showed me to be available. Your gifts will make room for you no matter where you go. So as we talk today, we're going to think about those gifts. Those things that when you were young, people said, oh, you too much of this. Oh, that's not going to work. No one else in our family has ever did that before. Who do you think you are? Why do you think you can do this? Those things that used to light us on fire, that we tuck away and we blow out the candle and we say, nah, God is saying, why not? Like, I put it on the inside of you. If you have a desire, it's coming from somewhere. If you have the dream, it's coming from somewhere. So now we're going to tap back into those. The old versus the new, because now what you didn't have before when you were young was wisdom and maturity. You knew you wanted the thing, but how would you act if someone gave you $1 million right now? Would your attitude shift? Would you start treating people funny? But if you would have got it at 18 or 19, I promise you would have flossed it a whole lot differently. Now at this age, it's like, you know what, maybe I need to get some investment properties. Let me make sure that my kids are taken care of. Let me do some things a little bit differently. So now that we're wiser, we're mature, it's time for us to shift into those things. So today, we are going to do a few things. The first thing we're going to talk about is our vision statement. Because although we have a vision board and a vision for our lives, it first starts with a statement. And I created a vision statement when I was, like I said, going through the thing with the hotel and things. And I was working with a life coach. And she said, what do you see your life looking like in 5 years? I was like, I don't know. I'm just trying to survive today. A 5-year plan, like, we need to eat. My kids need to eat today. She said, but until you can be able to see yourself 5 years from now, you'll never live the life that you know that you should, that you deserve and you should receive. So the first thing I did was I created this statement. And when I created this statement, it's so funny because most of the statement has actually come true that I wrote back in 2015. And I said, my name is Dr. Sherry Walton. I wasn't nowhere near Dr. Sherry Walton anything. My name is Dr. Sherry Walton. I travel around the world helping women discover who they are and their purpose. Again, bumped into this. I said that I would impact lives. I put empowerment centers in my family. We travel around the globe. We didn't even have passports at the time, so it wasn't no traveling around the globe. But what I'm saying is, in the time where it didn't make sense, I put it together. Now it's like, oh, check, that happened. Okay, check, that happened. So I understand the importance and the value of doing this. So I don't want you all to do it or think we're doing it just because it's something nice to do. It is nice to do, but it's so much deeper and it's so powerful, and it literally, what you see will come to pass. So the first thing I want you all to do, we're going to close our eyes. Everybody's going to close their eyes. And I want you to think about the woman that you want to become. Now I want you to do a few things as our eyes are closed. I'm going to first take you to the material side. I want you to look at her and I want you to see what she's wearing. I want you to see her hair, her clothes, her shoes, her shape. You see her? Now I want you to see her in her home. I want you to see her walking through her living room. I want you to see the furniture, the texture. Is it leather? Is it suede? Does it have rhinestones? Is it bedazzled? Does it have her initial at the front as she walks into a double staircase? What do you see? Now, as you transition to the living room, I want you to look at your dining room. I want you to see the tables. Is it round? Is it rectangle? Does it sit 6 people? Does it sit 10? Is it intimate for 2? Now, everyone breathe in. Let's breathe out. Now, let's go to the kitchen. What does this kitchen look like? What is the cabinets? Is there an island? Is it a gas stove? Now from our kitchen, we're going to go ahead and we'll go down the hallway to our master bedroom. What color is it? Sit down on the bed as you just come in from a nice long day. What does it feel like? What does the headboard look like? Now we're going to go ahead and go into the master bathroom. But before we do that, we're going to pass our master closet. What does that look like? Is it a his and a hers? Are there male clothes as well as female clothes in that closet? Now we're going to come on out and we're going to go to our backyard. Is it a patio overlooking land, or is it something nice and quaint with your chairs that you sit there every day in the morning with your coffee, your tea? All right, open your eyes. You saw her? Is she here today? Not yet. Some things we're gonna need to work. How often do you do that?
I usually picture myself in a house that's elevated. I can see across the countryside and feel the breeze, all that stuff.
Yes. All right, we're gonna do that exercise one more time. This time we're gonna see whether or not she is a business owner, or a career woman. So let's close our eyes. So what does she do for a living? Does she go to work every day, or does she have some days off? Does she travel? Does she help change others' lives? So she just got a call in the middle of the day. One of her friends just called her. Where are they going? They need to catch up. Are they going to the spa? Which restaurant? Because remember, she now controls her time and her day. How much money does she make? So now they're leaving wherever her and her friend just met up, and she's going to get into her car. What does it look like? Smell the car. Look at the color. Is it leather inside? Is it an SUV? Is it a drop-down convertible? Does it have a sunroof? All right, open our eyes again. What did you see?
The biggest deciding dream someone already started to put into. I'm a business yet, but not too dreaming my car.
What is your dream car?
So I'm not
Love it. Yes.
Everybody's great.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Does it feel, when you close your eyes, does it feel like that can happen for you? Yeah. What did you see, Shaka? What does that day look like for you?
Well, I just saw myself
In slippers?
dressed with Jessica Pearson from Suits.
Okay, nice.
And I have my bag on my. So I'm a career woman, but I also have a business. So my time is flexible because I'm in an executive position. And my friend calls me and we go to some cafe and we have some lunch. And I actually saw myself like pressing something to the Jeep. And I got inside it still smells new. Yeah, it actually doesn't feel very far away. It doesn't feel unreachable.
Yeah, yeah. What did you see?
Well, I saw myself dressed in white, like similar to if we have things like those wearing a jacket, hanging out on the outside, something on the floor, something plain on the outside floor, on the outside. My living room was spacious because I don't like holding furniture, but it was comfortable furniture. And my vehicle is an SUV, but it is a big one because it has to hold more than 4 people. With room at the back because it has to hold stuff as well. Yeah. And business-wise, okay. I see myself as a sales executive. And but there are children involved. Because I run a home for something we call kids in crisis. And so I have to be flexible to deal with them. They impact their lives as well. And yeah, when my friend calls, we just want to have a light lunch because I still have to manage my
So I want you all to make that a, if not daily, weekly. Weekly, you do that. I want you to guide yourself through what you see, how you feel, the texture of it. I literally would do that every single morning living in a hotel. I saw myself so much further than where I was until the things that I saw became the reality. To the point where it's like, okay, no, I don't have to worry about money anymore. No, okay, I get to do this. I get to travel the world with my children. We can move at the drop of a hat to a new country and not miss a beat. Those are the things I used to say. I'm this global, I'm gonna travel around the world, and now being able to do that because I saw it. So that seems like a real simple exercise. So something that won't take a lot of time out of your day to do it, but to see it. Because remember, one of the things you have to know about your purpose is it's so much bigger than you. So we did the material side, because you know that's stuff that we have serving down pat. If someone calls you right now, if I call this lady right now and tell her I need help, she's packing up all her stuff, she's coming to see where I'm at, what I need, how I need it. But the part of putting herself and doing the things that she sees in her heart and the things that are her dream that she's put on the side for everyone else, that's the part that we want to wake up. So we're going to do our vision statements. I'll pass this around. Just take one off the top. Take the top 2 pages. And we're going to come back around.
my vision board. My vision always starts with ministry because that's at the forefront of what I want to build and expand my ministry. It's represented here by the church because I want to build my ministry where my pastoring is concerned.
I want to be a chef.
Speak
I
louder.
want to have a big house.
That's beautiful. What else? Yeah.
My name is Shaka. This is my vision board. So I need to be fit. My husband has a fitness company, so I need to be every day. I have my brands over here. This is the spa bar where I cater to men, manicure, pedicure, facial, scalp massages. Then I have Yorick's Enterprise. As you can see, Yorick's. Something about my last name. I envision it being the legacy I leave for my sons. Like how you have Ralph Lauren and Cartier and those type of name brands. That's what I envision for my family.